Hi everybody, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop197. This is my review for today, and today I have no review, ladies and dudes, but once again I'm gonna do a brand new video that nobody has never done before, and once again it'll be another different type of tag. And this tag is all about, I'm gonna do an underrated movie tag. Because, to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, and yes, I got my special guest here with me, my old buddy Pumbaa, the guy who came from the Lion King saga. And to tell you the truth is, I just thought about this, type of tag is, it would be cool that we need to talk about so many good movies here and there that is so darn underrated. So many movies that needs to be overlooked right away. And I think it's a good idea if I could find some fans out there here and there who are such a big fan of movies that is so darn underrated. You know, movies that need to be overlooked, or it's not really popular enough, or sometimes there's some movies that had a strong cult following. It's hard for me to explain about all this. But yes, ladies and dudes, I decided to do a brand new movie tag that's all about underrated films, and I got only 11 questions that I got on this piece of paper. So without further ado, ladies and dudes, let me tell you about my brand new 11 questions for the underrated movie tag. So let's get this started. For my first underrated movie question is, what is your most favorite underrated movie of all time? That's a very hard one. There's a lot of good underrated films to choose from. But for me, I guess you already know what mine is. The Taken Saga. I still love the Taken Saga even to this day, and I can't get this movie saga out of my head. So yeah, I really want to treat all three of these films as equal. As you know me, my most favorite one is Taken 2, because it has I like a story that focuses on the family, if you know what I mean. So yeah, all I could say about what is my most favorite underrated movie of all time has to go to the Taken Saga, hands down. Now, movie question number 2. Here's a really difficult question to ask you. Which movie character is the most underrated? You know, a character that hasn't been talked about, or we had never noticed about this character or whatever. For me, I choose The Incredible Hulk, the 2008 version. I think The Incredible Hulk is definitely a very underrated movie character, and nobody had never talked about this really cool big green guy who always say, "The Incredible Hulk, Hulk smash!" And I'm very disappointed to all of you if you guys did a movie review of The Incredible Hulk, the 2008 version. Nobody had never talked about this big, cool green man who is so darn mad all the time, and he loves to say, "The Incredible Hulk, Hulk smash!" And, well, one of the things I'm disappointed about all of you when you guys did your own movie reviews of this movie is you guys never talked about the reprising role for Lou Ferrigno. Well, thanks to Lou Ferrigno, he is the only person who could play one of the most greatest superheroes of all time, period. So I will say, for my most underrated movie character ever, has to go to The Incredible Hulk, the 2008 version. Okay, movie question number 4. Who is the most underrated actor? Oh, that's easy for me. The most underrated actor I have ever seen in my whole entire life has to go to Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman is so darn underrated. And this poor guy had never been talked about for a pretty long time. He is just a very underrated dude. I really like his good looks, his charm, and his voice is very darn scary. You know Alan Rickman, he's the guy who played Professor Snape in the Harry Potter saga. And I guess later on in life, we never got to know him much. Says he is a really cool British actor, but he's also half Irish as well. So I have nothing to say, so I will say who's the most underrated movie actor of all time has to go to Alan Rickman. Movie question number 4. Who is the most underrated actress? I will go with Famke Janssen because I really love Famke Janssen. She is a very beautiful and a most talented actress. I really like her grace and beauty. She has a great personality and attitude. She's a very lovely woman. And one of the most underrated parts about her is why won't she and Liam Neeson should done a sex scene for Taken 3? I would love to see that happening. And they did not add it in the movie. It's so darn disappointing. Yeah, I love Famke Janssen. She is a really good actress, and she is still pretty good in her 50s. She's just so darn beautiful in so many ways. So who's the most underrated actress? Goes to Famke Janssen. Okay, movie question number 5. What is your most favorite animated movie that is so darn underrated? For me, I will go with The Prince of Egypt. I love The Prince of Egypt, and I did a movie review of it last year. Just go ahead and check out my movie review of The Prince of Egypt if you can. There's a whole lot of things I explained about why did I enjoy that movie so much. I think it's the animation, the characters, the voice acting, the songs. It's hard for me to say, so what is your most favorite underrated movie of all time that's anime-wise? Goes to The Prince of Egypt. Okay, movie question number 6. What is your most favorite underrated movie saga? That is pretty darn easy for me. For our tiebreaker, I will go with the Taken saga or the Night Museum saga, because I can't tell which movie saga is the all-time best for me, so I treat both of these sagas as equal, if you know what I mean. So, don't worry, Blaze the movie fan, I will still think about the Night Museum saga. It's still a pretty good saga in so many ways, but no matter what, my most favorite movie of all time, it goes to number 2. Hard for me to say. So what is your most favorite underrated movie saga of all time? For me, a tie goes to Taken or the Night Museum saga. Okay, where was I? Okay, here is movie question number 6, and here's the most trickiest question of all. Which underrated movie score that nobody had never talked about in their movie reviews? Here's the most disappointing thing of all. What kind of underrated movies that has a really cool score that has never been mentioned? For me, it has to go to the Taken saga. I love the Taken scores so darn much, and I can't stop listening to these wonderful scores that I enjoyed from all 3 of them. Too bad I don't have the 3rd one yet. This is the most disappointing point for all the movie reviewers out there. They had never talked about the Taken scores. I mean, the Taken scores for me, it really did blow me away. And this is the number 1 most strongest point that I love about the Taken saga the most, is the score. And that composer, whoever this person's name is, that guy did a fantastic job creating a very cool epic score for one of the most underrated movie sagas of all time. I mean, I do praise for that composer. I don't know why nobody never talks about this composer. It's so hard to pronounce his name, to create such an amazing score that came from an underrated movie saga. And I really do want to blame you, movie reviewers, for never talking about it for your own movie reviews. So, which underrated movie score that has never been talked about in a movie review has to go to the Taken scores? Okay, what's my next one? Okay, movie question for underrated number 8. What is your most favorite underrated movie that is so darn epic? I will say the most epic movie of all for me has to go to Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy is so darn awesome. It is so darn epic in so many ways. I will say the most epic part about this movie are 2 things: the special effects and the score. I freaking fell in love with the special effects. You know, it's very well detailed, and I love its look and design of the grid. It's so darn beautiful in so many ways. And I really enjoyed the score by Stepan. They did an amazing job with their score. It's just mind-blowing. So what is your most favorite underrated movie that is so darn epic to you, but for me, has to go to Tron Legacy? Okay, movie question number 9. Which Miyazaki film is the most underrated? For me, I have to go with Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind. This is the most important movie that nobody had never talked about. And this is the one that started all for the Studio Ghibli company, I think. This is the movie, and it has an amazing story. It has good characters, a fantastical classical animation. And it's a story about a princess named Nausicaa who's trying really hard to bring peace for both humans and bugs alike. It's a very darn enjoyable movie to watch, and maybe one day I will do a movie review of it very soon in the main future, but I don't know when. So, which Miyazaki film is the most underrated? Has to go to Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind. And now, movie question number 10. A very important one of all. Which actor or actress has the most underrated movies? For me, has to go to Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson is the king of underrated movies. And he had so many underrated movies to choose from that's way too hard to count. There is A Walk Among the Tombstone, the Taken saga, The Grey, Ponyo, Nonstop, Unknown, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Run All Night, you name it. I love Liam Neeson, and he'll always be one of my favorite actors of all time, but one of the most underrated actors out there who had so many underrated movies. So, which actor or actress who has the most underrated films? For me, goes to Liam Neeson. And now for my last and final question I will do for all of you is a bonus movie question thing I want to ask you. But to tell you the truth is, you can pick any bonus question that you want for a movie that is so darn underrated. And something for what I decided to choose for what I want to say for my question for an underrated movie is, what is your most favorite underrated movie song? A movie that has a good song that's kind of underrated but nobody had never talked about it. For me, I will say the Madam Mim song from The Sword and the Stone. I love that song. It's very darn enjoyable. It's very catchy. It has good lyrics. It's very funny and very entertaining in so many ways. So I will say, for my most favorite underrated movie song of all time, has to go to Madam Mim's song from The Sword and the Stone. And there you go. That's all my 11 questions for an underrated movie tag. And before I go, here are here's a few good people I really want to tag for this video. Okay, I got Alex, Stepan, Homer Power, JWUniverse, Disney Fan 65. I forgot your name anyway. Rabbitearblog, Blaze the Movie Fan, and Big Guy 617. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, ladies and dudes, and join me next time for my next videos to come, like my top 10 list, my movie reviews, and all that stuff. So, I'll see you guys later. Sayonara!